boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Let's Rant. Now, last episode got way too heated for me to feel comfortable bringing the boys in, so we didn't get to celebrate our proper annual tradition of gathering around the dumpster fire as I regaled to them how the pile of trash came to burn. Thankfully, the big rants are biannuals, so don't worry, we will be bringing them in for the next big rant-worthy chapter. However, in order to get there, we'll need to bring back, once again, everyone's favorite bite-sized outrage and rapid-fire rants. And this time, we only have to cover two blissfully short chapters, starting with Fuel Economy, which is about, hey, everybody, hey, Paulo is a brand new car. Although, doesn't Paulo already have a car? I just kind of assumed it since you've seen him driving and getting his permit multiple times. And while looking back on it, I guess it was implied that these were all other people's car, like Rachel, Taz, and Matt. But how did he been getting to work? Has he just been walking the entire time? Whatever, I guess. It's a car. It's a car, and Paolo gets to show off his new used lemon. You already finished saving all that money like you planned? That was a little short, but my dad's friend's son was selling it for a really good price, so he covered the rest for me. It's my early Christmas present. You're a driver. Daisy, he's been a driver since last summer. Or actually, no, he was a driver since last fall. Are we just going to act like the Paolo show didn't happen? Or are we just cherry picking the parts that are convenient to us and forgetting about scenes that contradict? And oh my god, that is exactly what we're doing, isn't it? You've been doing that this entire time. Wow, I just didn't want to acknowledge it. What a shame. Daisy, you took driver's ed with the rest of us. You could get your license anytime. I know, but you actually put in the work and got that license. And a car. When that's all yours. Wait a second. Daisy took driver's ed? Us? Did. When? I have come to accept that we are just neglecting parts of the Paolo show in service of what's convenient to the current narrative, but we're just making shit up now. When did Daisy take driver's ed? Who else took driver's ed? You're telling me that there was a chapter of the kids each going to driver's ed, taking the test, getting driving lessons, and only Paolo managed to pass?
Yes. That's it? No.
Oh, come on. That'd be so cool, though. That would have been awesome for the Paolo show. Imagine the gang all being snooty to Paolo before messing it up in their own way. I mean, hell, the Driver's Ed episode is a staple in teen TV in the early 2000s. Everyone remembers the Drake and Josh episode where Josh runs over Oprah, or Kim Possible's episode where they make up the impractical K-turn and have a talking car. It'd be fun. But oh well. We can only dream. And wait, what is that? Is that a fucking purse? Pal, what the? Oh my god. We get it. You have the half cape. But dude, you don't have to wear a purse. Tashi, you don't show a character has gay thoughts by giving them a fucking purse, okay? My god, this is so stupid and impractical for Paolo. Are you telling me he's keeping all his textbooks and notebooks in that dinky piece of shit? Like hell you are fitting any books in that thing. You would need to get a grandma certified big bag to carry at most 3 textbooks in a fucking purse, and even then it's not gonna last long. And it's not like it's all he's got, the dude already has a fucking backpack for school. Where the hell did he get this purse anyway? I highly doubt his dad bought it for him without, asking some pertinent questions. And they don't have much money, meaning Paolo had to buy this purse himself, which I know it's nitpicking, but it says something that Paolo would buy something so embarrassingly pointless as a purse when he had just said how he scraped together all the money he could so he could buy a shitty car. My boy, I get it. You're sexually confused, but you gotta keep them finances straight. But I'm only giving shit here because honestly, chapter's opening premise is actually pretty nice. We got Paolo being an overly excited goober, and even Rachel gets to have some fun. It's cute, and I can't knock on that too much, especially since we just got hit with 2 full rant-worthy emotionally draining chapters before this. It's an honest-to-goodness sweet reprieve to see everyone having fun again, as Paolo, the great almighty scarecrow, forgets about his prior drama-wrecked relationships. Instead, he's focused on his exciting new car and the amazing privileges that come with it. So you finally got a car? Congrats, Paulo. Yeah, took me long enough. But if you ever need a ride to the nearest oily beach or whatever, hit me up. It's not very environmentally conscious to use a car over public transit, you know. Oh, we can turn off the heat. I mean, hell, even Jasmine's getting in on the fun. Everyone's happy for Paolo, and he's happy for everyone. Nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna hold me down. Shut the fuck up, Abby. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Wait, no, don't pull away from Paolo. No, I don't want to read another Abby chapter.
I want to live! I want to live!
I don't understand him. What's there to understand? He acts like we don't have a difficult history. Shouldn't he be angrier with me? I don't think petty is in his vocabulary. Meanwhile, it's my entire definition, I guess. Oh, God damn it. Fine, let's talk about Abby again. Because he's feeling guilty and self pity. Again. Because he struggles to understand the actual type of person Paolo is. Again. So let's have Jasmine spell it out to him. Again. My god, Abby, please. I am begging you. Find another character hook for fuck's sake. There has to be something else you can have a scene about that doesn't involve Paolo. I mean, for crying out loud. Even Jasmine has more stuff going for her. In fact, so far, Abby has not been able to find any further character development or purpose outside of his relationship with Daisy, and one could argue that the real reason Abby got so obsessively upset about Paolo was because he saw him being around Daisy more often and was subconsciously jealous. And now that I think about it, well, even though Abby and Paolo had a kind of rivalry going back to Volume 2 and having Paolo pick up trash, it never really got personal or vitriolic until around the time Paolo and Daisy's friendship started to bear fruit of something more. And it's funny how that was also around the same time where Abby and Daisy's relationship started to fracture, leading to them breaking up. It's almost like Abby turned into a narrative plot device to be attached to Daisy and keep her busy in a relationship until a real partner in Paolo was able to develop and fill that hole. Holy shit, no wonder Abby's so fucking useless. He's a narrative cockwa. Wait, no, that doesn't work. Or at least I don't think it does. He's a narrative dildo, and that's why he's with Jasmine now. My god, it all makes sense now. It's a match made in China. Oh, Abby and Jasmine, you deserve each other. But what's that? Oh, you want to know what happens in the chapter? Fine, but I promise it's not that much more interesting. Abby's sad that he has to come to terms with the fact Pal is just a person and really misses that old axe he used to grind. Jasmine tells him the moral of the story. Paolo is still Paolo. They have a half serious talk, and the chapter ends with the two walking off into the sunset. But does this have carryover? Does this spell the end to Abby and Paolo's feud?
Here's a more important question. Do you care?
Because honestly, whether you do or not is important to this chapter. I was told before that this chapter was apparently just to set up that Paolo has a car so that he can use it in the next chapter, but taking a step back, I think the true reason for this chapter is because you just don't understand. If we go back and look at the dialogue of Abby, the comic is desperately trying to get you to sympathize and care about his plight, and understand the nuance and deeper issues within him, and how it's not so simple as forgiving Paolo, don't you understand? These characters are so complex and deep and nuanced. You just don't get it. Why don't you care? Probably because ever since he broke up with Daisy, Abby has been pigeonholed into being a useless sack of shit character who only ever shows up to snipe at Paolo so that he can be told over and over again, you need to stop being so obsessed with Paolo. He's not that bad, Abby. He's a person too. This isn't good for you. But you don't have to forgive him. Oh, Paolo, you were shitty too. You both need to forgive and move on, except that this is the exact exact same shit that happens every single time Abby shows up. It's all he ever does. It's fucking boring. I'll tell you what, you give me a fucking Abby chapter that isn't just a sob story and doesn't involve Paulo or Daisy, and maybe I'll care. But no, the Stacy MMO group doesn't count. Nobody cares.
But I.
Nobody cares! You stupid cunt! Shut your fucking mouth! Oh my god! Shut up! Shut up! A million times shut up! I'm going to kill you! Shut up! Nobody cares.
So now that that terrible pointless chapter is out of the way, let's get into a good pointless chapter in chapter 113, Featured Attraction. Come on, Paolo. Just the opening scene of my endless sun shower, and you'll be begging for more anime. Okay, good may be an overstatement, but it is the good kind of pointlessness that I was yearning for in the previous chapter's premise. Essentially, the chapter is about Paolo taking David to the movies to watch an anime premiere. I know how common it was for animes to have premieres in 2008, but I'll let it slide. This, on the other hand, why do you keep calling it that? Isn't it just a cartoon? No, it's very different and very good. Good enough for Daisy to forget how late we'll be, I hope. When I said I'd pick you up at 5:30, I meant 5:30. Hey, perfection takes time. How the hell does Paolo not know about anime? Dude was established to be into this universe's common writer, and David is shown to be a big anime nerd. Are you telling me that Paolo, a fucking 90s kid, managed to not only dodge the massive cultural impact of Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece, Gundam, Death Note, Inuyasha, Evangelion, Soul Eater, D. Gray Man, or Full Metal Alchemist in their American heyday? And even if you're telling me that the overly excited, oversharing, fanatical David didn't strap Paolo down and make him watch all of Gurren Lagann? Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. This is not the first anime movie that David has forced Paolo to watch, and this is not the first time that these two have argued about anime being cartoons. That being said, you look the same as always. As I was saying, I do love this joke. Oh, David, I can't stay mad at you. Paolo, you're here. Hey. Hey! By the way, did I say it was Paolo and David going to the movies? I lied. Daisy's coming too. Surprise! It's a shipbait chapter. Buckle up, kids. We're getting 2 scoops of cringe today. I guess I must, misunderstood the other day. Guess that was pretty dumb of me. I mean... And when I say this is shipbait, I mean this is hard shipbait. Of course, this wouldn't be like, I just assumed. I'll leave if you want. It's already out. I'll just leave. Just let me leave. It's so awkward now. You have to come. I'm not ruining this. You're coming and that's final. What's up with you two? And since I probably won't get a chance to dive further into it, I guess I'll bring it up now, but this is the point where Teshi starts leaning into one particular character hook for David, and I hate it. From this point onward, David starts to become obsessed with shipping Paolo and Daisy. It's just so fucking lame. I mean, I get it. David's character in general is kind of obsolete, and his purpose in the toolbox of characters can feel out of place for most serious scenes, even though that's kind of the point, and I'd argue that his implementation in Witch Hunt is a good example of that exact thing being used to great effect, diffusing the heavy dramatic air around him by forcing the audience and characters to take a step back and recognize that, hey, this is kind of stupid. When used properly, he brings levity to scenes where drama is developing rapidly. But with this new hook of David becoming this in-universe forced ship sailor, it becomes the antithesis of what this character used to be good for. Not to say, of course, that he didn't have some investments in the developing ships, of course, as one could argue that Paulo X Daisy was his plan all along, dating all the way back to Acapulco. But the thing is, in that scene it was more open-ended, and David was trying to see if there were other prospects for shipping Paulo other than Tess. And it was more about trying to gauge who Paulo really wanted to be with, and forcing him to make a decision. He wasn't ever a full-on Paulo X Daisy man, even after Babby broke up with Daisy. And I know, I'm rambling again. It's not that big of a deal, but it is an obnoxious new wrinkle to his character, and I know it's going to be brought up later in one of the bigger chapters. So while this may make a 20-minute rant into a 30-minute rant, covering this now means that in the future, a 2-hour rant won't turn into a 90-minute rant. Not to mention, it is doubly obnoxious because we are having a character forcibly trying to ship in a chapter that is already trying to ship bait. That being said, though, it's still cute. And I'll enjoy it while I still can. And I know it may seem hypocritical for me not to criticize David's overly expressive and cartoonish expressions like I do for everyone else, but the problem itself isn't in just the expressions, but rather how they're applied to certain characters. Expressions in scenes like this involving David and Daisy making stupid anime faces is acceptable because they are both very expressive and kind of silly characters. It's a lot more mentally palatable than something like Lucy making a stupid meme face that feels jarring to see mixed in with her emotions being grounded and serious 99% of the time. Oh man, I bet they're almost done with the previews. Let's just get straight to our seats. Quickly, quickly. Oh! Oh, thank God we're at the movie theater. I can stop stalling. So, anyway, they get in the theater, but David decides to hang back and leave Paolo alone with Daisy to not so subtly allow them to have some alone time. But oh, wouldn't you know it, we're swinging hard for the fences on terrible cliches today. Because guess what? Oh boy, it's a full house. Oh no, that isn't romantic at all, is it, Steve? And oh no, the audience is a bunch of obnoxious weebs. How fucking riveting. What is happening? Why are they talking through the movie? It's so rude. Yo, wasn't this meant to be the sub? No, this was the one in English, dude. How fucking riveting. And you wondered why I pulled 2 rambles out my ass earlier. No one will be seated during the absolutely scathing commentary on movie theater etiquette. You just left? I guess. See? I told you. Wait, they're all leaving? Looks like it. Hey, at least now Paolo and Daisy can finally enjoy the movie by themselves. Weird that we had that aside about annoying movie guests, but whatever. I guess Tashi just really wanted to poke at rude anime nerds. But it's over now, so we can finally get on with what this chapter's about. Excuse me, everybody. Hey, down in front! Oh, this is the meat of the chapter, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure they made a mistake here. Did everyone check their ticket to see whether it said sub or dub? Ticket doesn't actually say anything. It's true. Well, I, for one, was expecting the sub. That's what I paid for. So leave! You're interrupting during the movie. It was supposed to be the dub.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
As someone who can count the amount of anime they've watched on one hand and count the amount of series they've actually finished on that same hand, if it was split in half, holy shit do I not care about this. But anyway, the nerds rage and go away again, leaving Paolo alone with Daisy again. But this time, it's different. They get to enjoy the anime without the interruption of the weebs.
It's not different at all! Is it, Steve?
My name is Shake Sula, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You wanna
Really? Yes, my sincerest apologies for the misunderstanding. Please take your seats. In just a minute, we'll be restarting the showing with the subtitled version of My Endless Sun Shower. Actually, it's Kitsune no Yomeri. Yomeri. Who gives a shit how I pronounce that? Seriously? Seriously? Tashi, who the fuck pissed in your popcorn to make you spend this much time focusing on annoying fucking weebs? Seriously, this is what you want to fill your chapter with? This is what you're using to bait and tease Paulo x Daisy? Fucking hell, man, what are we doing here? Actually, I have pretty severe dyslexia, so I can't really read subtitled movies. It's really hard to keep track. I could have sworn this was they were screening the dub. Oh, I see. We're trying to have a moral about how bitching and being rude affects the movie-going experience of those around you.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Nobody really cares.
But we need to speak out and hold those accountable for ruining the experience for those who may actually need it to be subtitled, who may not be able to speak for themselves.
Nobody cares, Applejack.
But what if they have no choice? Some people may only have one chance to go and experience a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it's being ruined by...
Nobody cares, you stupid cunt. Shut your fucking mouth. Oh my god, shut up, a million times shut up. I'm going to kill you. Shut up. Nobody cares.
Hello? Anyway, Paulo gets upset by this and decides to do something about it. Heck yeah, bud, you tell those nerds off. Wait, where are you going? What's wrong? Where's Mike? I need to give a nerd a swirly. So let me get this straight. Paulo gets his anime experience ruined by a bunch of weebs, which makes him angry. And then he hears the plight of a disabled girl whose experience was also ruined by these weebs, and that makes him even more angry. So angry, in fact, that he goes out and attacks Mike?
Maybe it's too late to be asking this, but, what?
What was the point? Why would you do this?
What was the point of setting up Paulo arguing with these weebs if they weren't going to have any actual comeuppance? And having the disabled girl come in at the end to show how she's the one who suffers the most from annoying moviegoers just feels tacked on and pointless. Especially because you could have easily made this more compelling if you just switched some scenes around. Instead of having the weebs come back and force the movie theater to play a different movie essentially, just have it where Paulo properly yells at them and stands his ground. You spent the last chapter talking up the kind of person Paulo is and letting life's boulders shrug off his shoulders, but an even more important aspect of Paulo is that he is always willing and unafraid to stand up against perceived injustice. Hell, that's what he did the last time he and Daisy were out at an event together. And if you want, you can keep the dyslexic girl's monologue by having her turn to talk to Paulo after he yells at the weebs, showing that even if he may be harsh, what he is doing is ultimately a good thing because he was speaking out for those that are too weak or afraid to speak and stand up for themselves, a key part of what makes Paulo Paulo. And if you want, you could have the punchline be like Paulo and Daisy schmoozing up and enjoying the movie before being interrupted by David coming in and being obnoxious and loud. There, chapter solved. Instead, the message and flow of the chapter gets bogged down by the weebs literally making the scene about themselves. And I get it, that's the point, but that's not fun or even interesting in any way. It says nothing because these weebs are nothing. In fact, they are so nothing, even Paulo doesn't bother to punish them. Why not have the end be like Paulo gets back at them in some way, like bullying them in the bathroom? Oh, because bullying is bad and you don't want to showcase that? Then why is he taking that frustration out on Mike? Because he's a nerd? What? This is so fucking stupid and disjointed. It's like there was an idea for a fun little romp chapter here, but Teshi just got bogged down by wanting to rant about how terrible and annoying weebs are, and building the biggest straw man so she can argue about subs versus dubs, but who cares? Ugh. Man, this sucks. I mean, this really sucks. I knew these were meaningless chapters, but they couldn't even be fun, meaningless chapters. And it sucks because I don't want this. And no, I'm not just talking about wanting BCB to be better. I mean this. Burnt Bridges brought something out of me and was the most hate-filled I think I've ever gotten in an episode. And it hurts me because that's not what this is supposed to be. This channel is meant to be a showcase of what webcomics can do and the brilliant work that these artists have put out there for all of us to enjoy. It's meant to be a celebration and appreciation of the art and effort to see where these guys came from and how they've evolved. The rants were meant to be more of an aside to show how mean we can get and how critical and unforgiving I can be when something gets it really wrong. And while Burnt Bridges has been doing pretty well in the views, it pains me to a degree because not only is it the most negative side of me that I've put out, but because when I look at this channel's front page, it's all rants. And I don't want that. I don't want this channel or myself to be pigeonholed into being an angry reaction channel that is known solely for shitting on the works of others, because that's not who I am. That's not who we are, and that's not what we do. So before we get to the next big chapter rant, which I'm sure is going to have more bullshit and angry criticism, I want to take you guys on a trip to the past, if you'll allow. To a period when BCB wasn't just good, but it was great. I want to show you not just one chapter, but a series of chapters that would become a period of gold in BCB's existence, an era that pulled me and I'm sure many other readers back from the brink, an era that followed up on one of the worst periods in BCB history and managed to show what Teshi was truly capable of, a series of chapters that brought redemption to the series, that elevated its characters, utilized every tool in the shop to craft a wonderful, emotional, and heartfelt grounded ride. Join me next time, will you? As we tune into The Paulo Show.